On our Monday show, Steve Backshall went in search of one of Britain's rarest animals, the white-tailed eagle. Back from the brink of extinction, it's now thriving in the west of Scotland.
Creatures great and small have highly developed survival instincts, but some just seem a little tougher than the rest. Ellie Harrison goes in search of the real hard nuts of the bird world.
I'm in the Cairngorms in Scotland, the windiest, coldest and snowiest place in the UK. But believe it or not, there are some animals which choose to live here. I'm on the trail of the UK's toughest, hardiest birds. Birds that have adapted to our most extreme environments. And my search begins at the Cairngorms Ranger Station, 600 metres above sea level. I believe there are three contenders for Britain's toughest bird. The snow bunting, a sparrow-like bird but with the survival skills to rival Ray Mears. The golden eagle, the most powerful predator in the Highlands with a 2-metre wingspan and talons that can pierce flesh. And the ptarmigan, a type of grouse which can maintain a body temperature of 40 degrees while the air around it is minus 35 degrees. I'm going to go find out. Heather, what kind of conditions are there? To help me judge this survival of the fittest competition, I'm judged by Ranger Heather Morning. Heather's been leading exhibitions in the mountains for 20 years and has seen these birds in the most extreme conditions. So Heather, it's moderately mild today. I wouldn't exactly call it warm, but what kind of conditions can you get up here? What have you experienced?
It can go down to, you know, as much as minus 10 on the tops, but it's not really the cold that's the killer up here, it's the wind. Strongest wind speed last winter was recorded 175 miles an hour. So, you know, the ptarmigan and snow bunting we're looking for today are pretty gnarly birds, you know, surviving in such a hostile habitat.
Definitely. Oh, my goodness, that wind is really picking up now, isn't it?
Starting to get a bit blowy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Right, Heather, let's start with the snow bunting. What kind of conditions have you seen it in?
Hey, these birds are nails. I've seen them up on the plateau above 1,000 metres in full-on winter conditions.
Wow.
And in huge high winds, and I've actually seen them burrowing in the snow. So it's pretty similar to what we would do if we got caught out upon the plateau in winter. You know, we would dig into the snowpack to survive, and these guys do the same thing.
Snow buntings are winter visitors to the UK. In fact, it's a bit of a sunny holiday compared to where they call home. They breed further north than any other birds, up to the edges of the permanent ice in the Arctic. But my next contender for Britain's toughest bird is much harder to spot. The golden eagle has a territory of over 35 square miles and lives on rocky outcrops high in the mountains. Heather, we're at 900 metres now, which is the highest level that a golden eagle, our second contender, might nest. Did you get to see them much up here?
I spotted one over on Ben Arn when I was over there with a friend and his border collie, and the eagle was actually swooping down on the collie, seeing it as a quick snack.
Ooh.
And amazingly, the eagle was actually bigger than the collie dog.
During the winter months, golden eagles will often feed on carrion. They'll gorge themselves on the meat, which means they can survive for days without feeding again, enabling them to sit out a storm. But to stand any chance of finding our last contender, we need to climb higher still. At 950 metres, we see our first ptarmigan tracks. We're getting closer.
Oh, I can see 4, Ellie, just right in front of us there.
Yeah.
I can see them. They're cool, aren't they?
What kind of conditions have you seen the ptarmigan in?
The winds that we talked about, 175 miles an hour, they're obviously not going to be flying around in that. They'll be hunkered down, you know, in the shelter of the boulders. But they survive up here all year round, so whatever gets thrown at them, you know, they can cope with. They're really gnarly birds.
Oh my goodness. Ptarmigan have 2 layers of feathers, an outer one and a downy inner feather, which acts like a built-in sleeping bag. They also have a really dense layer of feathers on their feet, which act like snowshoes. So which is it to be, Heather? We've got the snow bunting, which digs a hole in the snow to see out the blizzard, the golden eagle, which goes for days without food to survive the storm, or the ptarmigan with a built-in sleeping bag.
But I guess the winner has to be the ptarmigan.
The ptarmigan.
They're so fantastically adapted to living in such a hostile environment.
Fantastic. So there you have it. Britain's toughest bird. Not Heather, the ptarmigan.